Right, here we go. Let's just check that things are working. Should all be good. Right, here we are. Welcome to the FishOMania Qualifier, Gold Valley Lakes on the 28th of May. Looking forward to this today. I've drawn peg 124 on Syndicate Lake, and I was saying before the match, you know, where did I want to draw? I wanted to draw this side of Syndicate Lake, but not in the corners. I wanted to draw road bank of Middle Lake or canal bank of Gold. So I've drawn one of the areas that I wanted to draw. However, the pegging is tight, right? I've got a gentleman to my right, a gentleman to my left. We've pegged every single peg down at this part of the lake, same as it is opposite. Although I would say the distance between these pegs I think is a little bit less than the far bank, but it is what it is. So I'll deal with it. Plan of attack today is pretty simple. I'm going to try and chuck a waggler around for 15 minutes, see if I can fish on a waggler. I'm going to feed the bomb line, and then I'm out to the rope. If no fish on the waggler, give that an hour, maybe half hour, back to the bomb, where I expect to spend most of the day. And then I've got a top kit plus 2 set up for the pole. No messing about, black hydro, 021 to 019. I'll just I'll show you the rigs. Gotta find them. So pole line, as I said, no missing, black hydro, 021, 4B16 float, nothing down. Whoa, it's deep in Syndicate Lake. Massive bulk, 4-inch hook length, size 12 MWG, SMWG. I fish that with double corn. I'm going to feed corn and 8mm pellets, and then if I just move that, landing it out of the way. Pellet waggler, pretty simple, 8 st, 9 gram waggler. I'll start at a 9 gram, which should get me further than my bomb line bait. I've got a 7 next to me. I'm going to switch it around, change them around, but we'll start on the 9 gram carper pellet waggler, and then it's a single hook length that runs all the way along. So it's a 1 meter hook length, size 12 pellet waggler hook with bait band on it. Hopefully that's going to catch me a couple of fish. Trusty bomb, seen that plenty of times on my now looking a bit old tournament rod. 8 st, little bomb guru, 2/3 of an ounce, 12-inch hook length, 019, size 12 QM1 with a bait band. We fish that with a pellet, and then I've got 2 method feeders set up. One's clipped up to the rope, and then this one, which isn't. I've got a bait spike on both of them, 4-inch hook length, just a guru feeder, 24 gram. I might have to stand it up to get it towards those buoys, but it's okay. I can do that. And that's that. We're set for the day. Thanks, Phil. We got 6 minutes before the all-in. It's just started raining, and we'll see what can happen. I just need to shout to the guys there. The goose came to eat your 2 meals. So I think I got there a bit late, but that's why I put your net on them. It done the damage, I think, at that point. Bait tray is very simple today. Just quickly go over it. 8mm pellets. I like these for the bomb. These are shot ones. I've got some Ringers 8mm. These are slightly lighter, a bit less oil. I'm going to use that on the pellet waggler. And it's going to fall a little bit slower in the water. A load of corn, 2 cans in there, spare can, and then I've got some Ringers chocolate orange waffles, which are my favourite, and hope the fish like them too. Got my stopwatch, got my clicker, got a landing net. I think I'm ready to go. I think we're fishing for about £90 today. The most, I think, £100 will win it. I don't know what the pegging's like on the Canal Bank of Gold. I think if anywhere would challenge Syndicate Lake, it's Canal Bank of Gold. I don't think Causeway of Gold's going to throw up a big weight. You know, it's not bright, there's not a lot of fish cruising around, so dobbin's out, which I'm very grateful for because that's not my specialty. It suits me today, fishing on the bomb. I see a few fish moving in front of me, but they're the other side of the rope. No ground bait today, I'm just going to feed pellets and corn. Morning, John. Hi Finley, I'm on 124 on Syndicate. It's a good peg, 94 on middle. I was just saying 91 on middle. I was saying earlier it was either this half of Syndicate I wanted, or Canal road bank of middle, or far bank of Gold on the Canal Bank. So I wouldn't be upset with 91 on middle. It could do well today. Plenty of F1s to go at Finley. I probably shouldn't tell you that, because you're fishing the match, but how long have we got? 3 minutes. Put some bait on this pellet waggler. It's a big old fat 8mm, that, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Finley, that's all you get. When I do, if I do paid subscriptions on the channel, then maybe I'll give you some more advice. Right, last year I was a little bit robbed on this fish show. I was opposite Penrite in, I don't know what I had, 40 odd pound. I reckon I must have pulled out, I don't remember entirely, but I think I pulled out about 4 or 5 fish on the waggler. And I thought, well, if they were £10 each, then I would have challenged Pen, but he also lost a few fish, so you can't really think like that. But weather doesn't know what it's doing. I've put my jacket on, now it's all muggy. Might take the jacket off during the day, we'll see. No, Julian, thankfully it's not. The other day was peg 101, and this is peg 124. So on the other bank, right down the other end. This is where I said I wanted to be. Don't know, I've got a catch really, I guess. Morning, Terry. Oh, there we go. We're off. We're going to cast this a lot, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Little wind. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. So that's the. Just going to chuck the pellet waggler around. got a fish on opposite me. Wow, just... So, more casting, less pellets today. That's the key, right? Give it 15 minutes or so, something like that, you know. I'm just trying to see if there's fish and they want it, then they're going to have it. They're not generally coming to lots of bait on the pellet waggler currently. They're coming to high work rate, people chucking it around, you know. So let's bear that in mind and keep busy. Not a carp. This is an F1 I've caught up in the water. No, I've changed my mind, it's not an F1. Little bitty carp. Oh, that's what we want, isn't it? That's what we want. 3 minutes. Not a big carp, is it? Where'd you come from? So skinny, I don't even know what that weighs. What does that weigh? 4 pounds? Smallest carp in the lake, isn't it? That's what I want now. So I'm casting past my bait and now I'm going to draw it into my bomb line. That's the idea. I might do another little couple of fixes. Just dobbed another one over on the far bank. That's a flying start. That picture look, is it alright? Not paid any attention. It's interesting, opposite me on 1, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, it's flat calm. Wind's coming off their backs. It's flat calm. And it's flat to my right, and I'm sitting in a ripple. Let's see. F1s do take 8mm pellet, my friend. You go and fish Middle Lake on Gull Valley and you chuck a bomb out with 8mm pellet on it, 5.5mm pellets, you will catch F1s, because the F1s are £3. And you catch them on the pellet waggler in Syndicate Lake and Gold Lake. They're ferocious in here. They're more like piranhas. It's not like Tunnel Barn Farm, where it's mostly F1s, because it's mostly carp venue. And then a bunch of F1s got introduced. All the anglers, the pleasure anglers, carp anglers. I tell you, right, I just want to take a thing off that waggler. Just want to take a weight off. I can't. Can't see it. By the way, I would never go fishing at the tunnel for F1s on an 8mm pellet, by the way, but I'm not fishing for F1s here, but you catch them. Whether you want to catch them or not. Right, let's get this work rate up. Keep casting, Graham, keep casting. So the technique I'm fishing, Gavin, is for a pellet waggler. And what happens is, I casted the pellet waggler, it makes a plop, and then the pellet will basically go down, it's a 1 metre hook length, and then sit underneath it. Now the way the method works is that the fish are attracted to the sound of the plop of the pellet waggler and the pellet. So they're used to the noise of the plop and associate it with food. And generally what you would do is you would feed and then chuck your pellet waggler over the top. But at the moment they've been sort of shying away from it a little bit. So the idea is that effectively you're trying to get the fish's attention by making the plop. The fish hears the plop, it turns, it shoots for the pellet, grabs the pellet, pulls the rod out of my hand. That's the method. and so it requires constant casting. Cast it in, make the plop, have the pellet fall, wait 10-15 seconds, reel it in a little bit, lifts the pellet back up, let the pellet fall back down again, recast, rinse and repeat. So it goes in, you probably can't see it, goes in with a plop, and then the idea is that the fish hear that zoning on that bait. When they come shooting into the peg, there's only one pellet, mine, and they grab it, and that's the method. And I'm feeding some pellets every now and then to try and, one, attract some more fish. I don't want to put lots in though, and two, I'm starting to feed the bomb line, so fishing on the bottom later. Ultimately, if I'm going to win today, it's probably going to be catching fish on the bomb. It could, however, be made up of a few fish on the waggler, a few fish on a method feeder, a few fish on a bomb, and maybe a couple of fish on the pole short to finish. But this part is worked very hard, Graham, and you get the plop as soon as the bait lands. Those fish come shooting over at 100 miles an hour, grab the pellet. Just got to keep working though, you can't stare at it too much. The interesting thing about this venue, if I was on peg 91 like Finley is, then I'll be fishing for F1s, which is I'd be doing it completely differently. I wouldn't be getting a pellet waggler out on middleweight, that's for sure. Morning, Lone Wolf, how you doing? Just a reminder for everyone, if you can like it, share it, say hello, interact with the stream, it's all good. All helps create visibility. And hopefully I'm going to catch a few fish. Now, so I would check this waggler around for 15 minutes, and if I didn't get a fish, then I would put it up the bank, but I've had one, so I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. Got a fish over there. There's a few fish being caught on that far bank, but maybe the wind in my face will do me good later. You're catching carp on that far bank. They're all dobbing them. Two more minutes. And I'm going to come off it. I'm not sure what the people are doing to my right. I can see one waggler goes out to my right. And that's about it. So I must have been fishing the bomb, or I must have... If I get a fish now, it's going to take my fingers off, just so you know. The line's gone underneath the spool. drama, wasn't it? What a drama. 3000s. The TVR rims. Just to answer that question. Just wait for those geese to pass, otherwise I should just feed them the pellets. Right, that's it. Going off. I might go back a bit later. We'll see. If I fished a bomb and ended up getting a bunch of liners, we'll see about it. But that's all that gets. Time to switch techniques. So method hybrid feeder, very simple, 2 mils wafter, squeeze it in, cast it out, and towards the rope. 86 anglers, Julian, I think. Struggle, try and catch up on your messages. 86 anglers, I think, are booked in. I don't know how many are here. I assume that there's always going to be a couple of anglers that don't make it for whatever reason. Whew, right, what's going on? Turn that down a little bit, eh? See, it's funny, as soon as I do that, I see a fish cruising down my peg. Interesting. I'll leave this for 5 minutes and then we'll recast it. Morning, John. No, there's 86 anglers here today. That's how many tickets they sold for today's event, I think. Weather's all over the place. It was meant to be overcast and windy, and it was rainy, and now it's sunny. I do see fish moving, but they are the other side of the rope towards that lot. Which is a bit annoying. I'm gonna have to put sun cream on, I can't. I'll burn like a vampire in this. Yeah, it's super tight, Julian. It's not. It's we've had a conversation already. It's really difficult. If you're a local and you come here all the time, this part of Syndicate Lake's really weird because essentially you're fishing into a acute corner. The lake's sort of like an acute corner, so like 19 gets to go up a little bit up the right hand bank, and peg 120 also gets to cast to the bank, and peg 121 gets to also cast to the bank nearly. And you would assume that it's 119 gets the whole bank, but it doesn't at all. The way the pegs are angled, it's sort of everyone goes to the right a little bit, which is generally why you never peg it every peg. But only on FishOs do you get every peg like this. It not only makes it awkward for casting, but because we're fishing a carp lake, inevitably your fish are going in their peg and they're going in your. Can't stop the odd dodgy cast, especially with the wind. So it's all good. Yeah, it's not every peg on the whole venue. Up there it's peg 2, miss 1. But down here, where they expect there to be some fish, it's every peg. So we're going to give this until 12 o'clock. Hopefully I can get a fish on it. If not, then I'll chuck the bomb out. The bomb's my own little bit of water, and I can control it a lot better. It's gone everywhere then. No, not just yet, Julian. Not just yet. There is fish moving towards the rope. What's these fellas doing walking around? Don't let them walk down there. What are they doing? Mate, you've got to stop them. There's 4 fellas walking down. They've just got to peg 118. You shouldn't be walking around the venue anyway. And they're now turning right and walking. Where are they going? Oh, they're into bungalow. Oh, maybe they've opened bungalow for pleasure anglers. I thought they were going to turn right and walk down that bank to 119 then. Which wouldn't bother me, but would have been right. Would have been well out of order. Anyway, come on, fish. Well, that was it, and Graham caught £4 on the FishOMania Qualifier. Thanks very much, come back next year. See, the difference here is if I'd have been fishing Mill Lake, right, I'd have been catching F1 short, and so I think you'd catch more F1s, you know, early, and then with the carp take over later. But would you just catch carp from the off, and then Mill Lake can't compete? But this is the only problem with fishing every peg, do you know what I mean? I know they are walking, excellent. So you've got 2 pleasure anglers walking it down the canal bank between 118 and peg 119. Yeah, do nil. 4 of them came down by Syndicate. 2 of them went left to bungalow, and 2 of them have come right down the canal bank. I don't think, probably, you know, most anglers maybe don't care, but there's probably nothing to tell them they can't walk down there, do you know what I mean? Yeah, Leroy's fishing a FishOMania Qualifier, which is always on a Wednesday at Gold Valley. So it costs me entry fee plus a day's holiday, but it's a nice day, got a little stream going, plenty of people watching. I'm pegged in like sardines in a tin, and the fish are on the far bank by the look of it. But as I do always say at Gold Valley, you can have £100 in an hour. So you should never let any of these things put you off. Would be nice to have £100 in the first hour, by the way, but they can always come. I don't know, Gavin, what was it, 50 quid maybe? But you know, in the grand scheme of things, for match fishing, £50 entry, it's you know, 86 to 1 that I win the match, and then I'm in the final, and then it's 30 to 1 and you win 50 grand. So I think that's all right. Was it £35? Yeah, maybe that. Not a lot. And it's one of the 3 venues that I really fish, you know, Gold Valley, Tunnel Barn and the River Thames, for my carp fishing, my F1 fishing and my, you know, roach and bream. I used to live around the corner. I'm classified as a local, even though I don't really fish it that much. Guy fishing to my left has never seen the venue. No, it's in Aldershot. Gold Valley Lakes is its proper name. They're not catching to my left and my right either. He's on the pole to my left. He's tried the method and the waggler to my right. He's tried the waggler to his right. And I think out of my left and my right, I'm the only one that's caught a fish. Now, this could happen, right? And I'm aware of this could happen. And then what you always be thinking about in these qualifiers is, after a couple of hours, if these people have driven a really long way, they may think, you know, forget it, what's the point, and go home. And suddenly I've got a spare peg to my left or my right. And I know that you can catch £100 in the last hour. And I also think you only need £100 to win. So if any of them want to go home, that's fine by me. Although they probably heard me say it. That's not happening, Julian, don't worry. Have you watched any of my matches on this venue? Go and bring up one of my other matches on this venue. Go back to one of the earlier ones when I had £96 in the last hour, which I think was maybe 2 pegs up, something like that. I ended up fishing a method over the bomb line because the bomb bites were all a bit twitchy. If I haven't caught on this in the next 8 minutes, I'm going on the bomb. I don't know, you'd have to say it was my home venue really, but I've not fished it a lot in the last year. Home venue's the Thames now, I would say. I fish the Thames more than I fish Gold Valley. As it happens, I've got a ticket for River Masters again this year on the Thames, so fingers crossed. Just seen my guy named Charlie catching on the far bank. It's like an F1 or a carp the size of my one. Yeah, well, you know, hold on, Gavin. I've currently not caught. I had one carp for about £8 in 101. I've only got one carp for £4 now. Let's not get too giddy. It's got another fish on 115. I think that could be his 4th fish. He's had a couple dobbing, and I think he's had this one on the waggler. I think he had another one on the waggler. It's flat calm in front of them. Come on, Rod. Five minutes, Kevin. Staying on my plan. Contact, round you go. Hi Mats, welcome to the channel. I don't know if it's off-putting for them, right? But you've got the guys in 115 and 116, right? There's a pleasure angler fishing behind them, I think in Bungalow Lake, and I think he's just standing up watching them. I think it's foul. Look, this fish that he's got on a waggler opposite me. That'd just be the luck, right? Last year I was sitting and Penn Writing was opposite me and he won. And in a match where I don't think you're gonna have to have a lot of weight, this guy's 3-4 fish in the first hour. He's way on target. He's got it in. £85, Julian. No, Matt. I don't wish I was back on 101. I do not wish I was on 101. I was wondering what I would have done if I was drawn 101 today. I'm like, do I think I would just drive home? But no, so I've got a day off work. And I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't have been happy. I've drawn where I want to be, but they're catching fish on the far bank. Right, all you bomb lovers, here it comes. So what's going on with those Nightbot messages? They're meant to be split up on different times. But as it just reminded everyone, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. If you've never been here before and watching some match angling could be of interest, then hit the subscribe button and you can find your way back. Maybe when I'm catching. Yeah, I started on the pellet waggler, in for a bit, caught a fish after a couple of minutes, only like the smallest carp I've ever caught, about 4 pounds. And then nothing for the next half an hour, so I switched to the method, done half an hour on that, no fish. And now I'm on the bomb. There's a few fish getting caught on the far bank, and I wonder if I just need to just carry on chucking the waggler regardless. They're catching up in the water and on the waggler over there, then where are they going to be on the bottom? Over here. I do like fishing the bomb though, and everyone knows it. On this bank of Syndicate, the margins are like a row of bombed houses, is the only way I can describe it. It's large chunks of rubble, so you can't fish the margin really on this bank of Syndicate. You have to come like a metre off the bank, and then you can get some clearer ground, but I've got an angler to my left and an angler to my right, so I don't think any fish are going to come into the margins unless someone goes home. But I've set up a pole line top kit +2. I'll look to fish that later on. I think some fish might come in a bit, but I wouldn't hold any hope out for margins further up when they're fishing 2 miss 1. Then yeah, they can fish to their margin, to the empty peg, but I can't do it here. Not in my view anyway. Otherwise I would. Yeah, in for a bit. They're not coming to feed on the pellet waggler on Syndicate. They haven't been for a while. The way people are catching on the pellet waggler is just keep the work rate up and land it in front of fish. Whether it's because the colour of the water or what else, but they're not coming to loads of bait getting reined in, and they didn't last season either. A lot of people were catching, just flicking rigs like they're doing on the far bank, fishing 13 metres, 14.5 metres, flicking a rig over. Or they're catching because they just cast a lot, but not feed and fish over the feed and that type of stuff. It's not working. Yeah, they're mugging on the far bank. Well, not mugging on the pellet waggler, but just high work rate on the waggler and mugging in the calm, which the guy on 116 has got. I think maybe it is. Yeah, it is. It is. Because I get bullied on stream. I get bullied on stream to get a clicker, and I get bullied on stream to get a stopwatch. Cost me a fortune, you lot. Yeah, exactly, Nigel. I told you when the time's right, I use corn. Cheeky mats. Not, have I? Yeah, I think I have. I have. Not here. I have at Tunnel. Because you got to split your fish straight away. Some people catch on meat here, but you know, there's no need to, and I wouldn't do either. You catch on corn. I'm not sure about this bomb, you know. I'm coming off it. I'm not convinced. too much. On the far bank, it's really calm. Wind's coming off their backs. It's blowing in my face and across. Can't control a waggler in this wind. Settle in for the bomb. You could catch on meat at this time of the year, but it wouldn't be the preferred bait. Yeah. You're not going to win doing that though, Julian. I can assure you. There's been people fish paste here all the time over the years in matches. The guy called Kevin used to fish paste every single match. And it's like those things, right? You could catch, but you won't win. It's like you could catch on meat, but you won't win. You could catch on paste, but you won't win. They're not winning methods. Winning method at this venue would normally be waggler, bomb method, and there may be some fish laid down the edge. Let's say you win a match here. So a few fish on the waggler, and then either stay on it, or a few fish on the method and stay on it, or on the bomb and then down the edge. This is what people, you know, work out week in, week out after fishing the venue. Do you know what I mean? I know people that fish it every week, and we talk and I look at results. You could come pleasure fishing, absolutely empty it, fishing paste. The trouble we got right now is the fact that we're pegged in. I think that makes fish a bit wary. And there's fish, but they're the other side of the rope in the middle. Lots of fish. If I'm probably go over that side of that bank and look this way, I think it's black with fish over there, and it's calm, and they're fishing the waggler, and the carp are up in the water. And for every 4 fish I see that side of the rope, I see 1 this side of the rope. But as I said, everything can change here, so I'm not worried about it. I've been on the method for about 25 minutes. No signs. No signs. It's alright, I know how to fish the bomb. Must be infuriating to watch though, right? Still sitting there thinking, do something else, Graham, do this. You'll all be on to chuck the method over the bomb line in a minute. Chuck the method on the bomb line, Graham. Feed the pole line. They do, mate. They do. But the trouble is you can't do that at this venue. If I was on Middle Lake, if you were not catching a load of fish and 3 hours have gone by, then yeah, you got a problem, because you got to be catching F1s. But if you're on Syndicate or Gold, you can't do that. It's £30 fishing gold. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to have £100 late on in the match, and the fish know it, and the fish are old, and you know, a lot of the weights are caught at the end of the day. But I would like to have had the start the guy on 1/16's had. He's got another fish on the waggler. He's not feeding a thing, by the way. He's just chucking the waggler around. That's why I think it's black with fish over there. It's got to be number 5 or number 6 he's got. Uh, 15, yeah, 115 actually. The guy on 116 is looking at him like in despair, I think. He's fishing exactly the same as well. Neither of them feeding, just chucking a waggler around. No, he's not foul looking him. I don't disagree though, by the way. I do think that people do that. But you wouldn't get them in so easy if they were foul looked. Imagine if I caught less than I did in 101. Gosh. What a terrible day that would be. So just make sure you all hit the like button, that'd be appreciated. And hit the share button if you fancy it. Let's see if we can get the numbers of viewers up. Make that the target for the day. Win FishOMania. Have 100 people watching. That's the challenge. I'm setting you that challenge, everybody, right? I can't make that happen, you can make that happen. Like, share, comment, interact. So the entire lake's got a ripple on it right now, apart from peg 118, 17, 16, 15 and 14. Everyone else has got ripple. I don't even know how the wind's going to avoid that so much. No, Julian, waste time, mate. Waste of time. No, if there's a load of carp up in the water and they decide to go that side, which can happen here, it's really funny like that sometimes. If everything's having a good old munch, then it's all right. But if you can sort of get this scenario. Can be quite tricky. What I've got to hope is that, you know, I'm feeding more pellets than the gentleman to my left and to the gentleman to my right. That, you know, when the fish decide they want to go down and have a munch, they're going to come down on my peg. The waggler looks like I could chuck it right now and give it 10 seconds and it's going to be blowing a gale again. That's the problem. shipped that pole out on 115. He's flicked it once and it's pulled it straight in. I think his peg's solid. It's got to be solid. The match record belongs to a gentleman called Ashley, and I think Ashley might have had 300 pound, and that might have been out of that peg. Well, in front I've got the A331 behind me. Fish to my right.